Hi everyone, welcome to another Monday Maker video. So obviously, as you know, I'm part of the maker team for DRK Crafts, which is amazing. I've always wanted to be on their design team, but obviously because I was demonstrating, never was able to. But now I'm part of the team. I'm over the moon. I've already got a lot of the papers, so that's great. So today's card, which is this one, which is a 6x6 tent door fold card, which I actually made at a Trimcraft demo years ago. I think it was about 2017, something like that, maybe 2018. I'm not sure. 2017. It's on my blog anyway, so you'll be able to see that. But yeah, so I made this card then, and I really liked it. I actually came up with it. It was on one of my own ideas. Sat there at a demo thinking, what else can I do? And so this is what I made. So yes, I thought I'd show you how to do this because I've never done a video for this. So the papers I'm using today is the first edition Making Memories pack. I'm using the 6x6, and you can see it's being well used. As I said, I've got a lot of these papers that I had from demos or I bought for myself during demo periods because, you know, the Trimcraft, I can use them. Then I've also used this adhesive sentiment toppers, and they do various different ones. They've got like thank you, they've got happy birthday, and I think there's another one as well, but they're just really useful. They're very useful indeed, and these come in a silver and a gold. There's 12 pieces, so 6 of each, and they're a decent size. They come with a little foam pad on the back, so that's really cool. I've also used the 6mm and the 3mm adhesive gems in gold, and then this pink paper here is actually part of a bundle. So DRK Crafts now do these Dovecraft A4 colour card packs, 50 sheets, 5 colours, 10 of each colour, A4, 180 GSM. So they're not quite thick enough to make a card blank out of, but for the purposes of matting, they're perfect. And actually, in here, this bit that opens up, this is made out of that 180. So because you've got a piece of card on the front that's 200, and you've got card in the middle, and you've got the card blank on the outside, it's really perfect for what you want. And I just love the fact you've got all the tonal colours. So they do various packs. I got the one with the pinks, I got the purples, and I got the reds. So I just thought a really good addition to a craft stash, and they're really good price. Very good price indeed, so definitely go check those out. I'll put the details up on the screen if I can, but yeah, very good price, so they're definitely worth getting. So yes, that's what I did. And then the card blank itself is also a Dovecraft one. It's their 6x6 card blanks, and I'll talk about it in the video, but thankfully they are actually 6x6, because quite often from manufacturers you order 6x6 card blanks, and they come with their envelopes, but the envelopes are 6x6 and the card is actually 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I like the fact that these are actually 6x6 cards, so it makes life a whole lot easier. So yeah, and then this pattern paper was also from the Making Memories pack. Yeah, and that's all I have to tell you really about the stock, so let's get into it. Okay, so for this tutorial, for this card, you need a 6x6 card blank, or if you haven't got that, a 6x12 piece of card that you score down the middle at 6 inches, fold it in half, and that makes a top folded 6x6 card blank. Okay, so this one that I've used is a Dovecraft 6x6, and then we're going to go through the other bits that you need in a minute. So let's concentrate on the cutting of this. Okay, so I would advise doing all your measurements on the inside of your front cover rather than on the outside, because then it doesn't matter if you get pencil lines. You can always rub them out, but at least it's not quite so obvious. So what you want to do is take your ruler and you want to come down about 1.25 inches. Now we will measure it in a minute, but just for this first bit, come down roughly about 1.25 inches, and then you're going to make a mark halfway at 3 inches. Okay, so now we can go over here and we can actually come down and make a little mark at 1.25 inches. So I've got a little mark going that way, which shows me that's 1.25 inches down, and then this mark which is 3 inches in. Then we want to come up from the bottom 1.25 inches and make a little mark, and the same over here 1.25 inches. And then if we get our ruler, we're going to join up those two marks like that. But what we want to do is we want to come in 1.25 inches and go all the way along until you get to 1.25 inches in this side. So you're going from 1.25 inches to 4¾ inches, okay? And then you also want to make your little 3-inch mark as well while you're there. So you've drawn a line along the bottom there. You're now going to draw a line from that 3-inch mark to your top 3-inch mark, like that. Okay, so that's the lines that you need. And then we need to go ahead and cut those 2 lines. Okay, so I'm going to come in. You can do this with a trimmer if you want to. I'm going to do it with a standing knife because I find it a bit easier. We can use a craft knife. And you're just going to come in and cut along that pencil line that you've just drawn. If you want to just go straight to cutting, you can. But I find it's just better to do it with a pencil line first. And then you know where you're at with it. So now if you want to, you can go ahead and rub out your pencil line. And if you're using one of these Dovecraft card blanks, you'll notice it's quite easy to rub it off and you're not going to, you know, mess anything up. Okay, so now we want to swap our craft mat for a cork board, and then we're also going to get out our ruler and scoring tool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to score from the end of that line there to the top of that line there. And we're also going to score from the other side here to the top there as well. And then all we need to do is just push that through, because obviously this is the back we're working on. So push it through and burnish. Okay, and the same on this side. So push it through and burnish. I really wouldn't go too thick with this card. I would go for about a 250-300 maybe. And then we're going to turn it over. You might end up like I have at the top there. It's not quite fully, you know, this doesn't meet up completely in the middle there, but that's fine. It's not, if you want to have a bit of, you know, make it more exact, you can. So that's the basis of your card. Okay, so before we decorate the front, let me just open this up. So on the inside here, if you want to, you can just put a pattern piece in and then write on the back. But I thought it might be quite nice to have another tent fold on the inside. So for that reason, you're going to need a piece of mat card that is 5 3/4 by 11.5. And what we're going to do is we're just going to put that on, put our scoreboard on, and we're going to just score that halfway at 5 3/4 inches. Okay, so you should end up with your top folding. Now, what you want now is you need an inside piece here that's white, that's 5.5 by 5.5, that you're going to stick in there so you can write on that. And you also need a pattern piece to go on the front that's also 5.5 by 5.5. So I'm going to go ahead, stick my 5.5 pattern onto the front. I'm going to stick the whole thing into my card here, and then I'm going to get the white piece and stick that in as well. Okay, so you should end up with that. So you've almost got like a double tent fold. Okay, so now around the outside, when I first did this years ago, it's actually on my blog, I did actually cut like a frame almost to sit on, but I thought this time around we'd make it a little bit easier and not decorate it quite the same way, just so we don't have to be cutting out, you know, a frame. So what you'll need is 4 mat pieces that are 1 inch by 4.5. And onto that you want to stick 4 pattern pieces that are 3/4 of an inch by 4.25. Okay, so you've got your 4 strips. So what you want to do now is these are going to go on here, and you want to make them sit on so that they kind of go round in a circle. Now you will end up, if you place them down first, you can kind of get the spacing for them. You might end up with a little bit of a big gap there. I did try it a slightly different measurement and it didn't really work, so this was kind of the best measurement I could do. So that's okay, I don't mind that. I've got a little bit of a big gap there, but it's not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and stick these down. Okay, so you should end up with that hopefully. So now what we want to do is we need to sort out these triangles here. Now I would definitely use, everything in me would like to use a pattern on there, but you need to use a mat, because if you can use a mat, a double-sided mat, then it just means you can flip it around. It makes it a whole lot easier. So you're going to take a piece of mat that is 1.5 by 3.5, and we're literally going to cut it in half down diagonally. Okay, so I'm going to cut this in half diagonally. Okay, like that. Now I'm going to stick that down in a minute, so don't put it to one side, but you also need another piece that's 1 3/8 by 2 3/4, and you can do the exact same thing on this. So you're just going to cut it again in half diagonally. Okay, so the bigger of the two rectangles, one of the pieces is going to go here like that, and the other one is going to flip over and go on the other side like that. Now this is why you really do need to have a double-sided mat. If, like mine, you discover that actually that's not quite working, then what you just need to do is just trim that down. So I'm just going to trim mine down a little bit. Okay, so I just went and trimmed that a little bit, and that fits a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead now and stick this down into there. Okay, so then if you open your flaps up, again, if you want to put something on here, you can. And so I'm reckoning that this, yeah, that's about right. So this is your one that you cut out that was 1 3/8 by 2 3/4. So that is going to go on there, and obviously because you've used a double-sided card, this can then go on there like that. So I'm going to go ahead and stick those down. Okay, so I've gone ahead and stuck those bits down. And so I just thought you can do what you want. When I did it before, I had like a little tree in the middle. But I'm going to use this congratulations, because this is one of the things I got for my Make a Team pack. And I really like these little greetings. They're nice and easy. So I'm going to use this. So it comes on a foam pad, which is very useful. And I need it to go about there. So I'm just going to put it quite low. I don't want to obscure too much of the greeting. So I'm just going to put that in, just flap that through like that. And then just to finish it off, we're going to put some little gold gems in the corner there. So I'm going to use the 6mm adhesive gems. I love these. These are really useful as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick these on. Okay, so just added a few little gems in the corner there. If you wanted to, you could put some on the door as well. I'm just going to keep it as it is. And then if you want, you could, as I say, decorate it up. You could have foliage coming around here. You could do lots with this. You really could. And then you open it up, and obviously you've got that, and you could put more on here if you wanted to. And then inside, obviously, you've got space to write. So that's the card for today's Maker Monday. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please go and check out www.drkcrafts.co.uk. Where you can get most of these products. Yep, and go and have a look, go and see what they've got. Please remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.